Hey, welcome to another adventure in old code. Today we're going to take a look at Backspace. Backspace. So this is from the dumb folder, and we're being asked to enter my name. Of course, that is my name. And that is the worst program ever in the history of programs. So shame on me for being so boring. I do recall this, and I knew this one was coming up. I'll show you what this was intended. Because it's in the dumb folder, this is me experimenting. All I needed to do was ask for some kind of input, and that is the first thing that came to my mind, because what this program is really doing is allowing me to backspace. And you might think, oh, well, that's not so great and wonderful. But this is not an input statement. This is me capturing input manually. And if you recall, oh, now it's going to print that. If you recall several episodes ago, we had backward, and this was the one where you type the message, and when you hit backspace, it gave you that block with a dot. So when I was making backward, I saw this as something that's not ideal, and I wanted to fix it. I was wondering if I could fix it and how one would fix it. Oh, and escape makes arrows. Oh, that's cool. Control C makes hearts. Control V makes those things. Anyway, great. So backspace was my attempt at solving the backspace problem. And I think in another program I had used this information to do a backspace in this kind of context, but this is where it came from, so let's run through this, see how I did it. It might not come as a surprise to us. It's a short little program. So we have N and A. They're both strings, and we're being asked to enter our name. So here we are capturing input. We're waiting until something is pressed. And then as long as that something was not enter or backspace, then we take that, whatever we've inputted, and we add it to N. N is going to be holding our name. And then we print A, which is what we've just inputted, but we put a semicolon after the A. This is extremely important. What semicolons do in a print statement is it keeps the cursor on the same line. Otherwise, a print statement will automatically carriage return to the next line. So if I didn't have that semicolon and I'm being asked to enter my name, this would go down like that. Because after every print, it automatically moves to the next line. So to make it not, you put a semicolon. It's not very intuitive. Yeah. So what most languages do is they automatically assume you are not wanting to go to the next line. And you have to explicitly say, hey, I want a new line character here. So QBasic is very basic, and so they assumed you wanted to go right to the next line by default. So you add the semicolon to make sure it stays on the same line. Now, that's if you don't hit enter or backspace. Now, if you hit backspace, what we have to do is we have to erase what you last typed. How are we going to do that? Well, we figure out the length of what you have typed. So if I typed JOE and I want to hit backspace, well then the length is 3. There's 3 characters on screen. But I'm taking that, subtracting 1, and putting it into L. L becomes 2 in this case. L is the number of characters I want to have left after I take into account my backspace. So L now holds that length minus 1. Now if, yeah, we only want to do the backspace if this isn't, if there was something to be backspaced. So if this is the first thing that we're typing, we don't want to do anything. If it is the first thing we're typing, then the length of n was 0. We subtract 1. L becomes minus 1. And so we don't want to do anything if L is minus 1. So only if it's not minus 1, then what we're going to do is we're going to assign the leftmost L, that's an L, not a 1, the leftmost L characters of n, put that back into n. So we can do that, that's no problem. And then, here's that, I think we've seen this before, print CHR string 29, 32, 29. 29, oh yeah, I do recall this. I don't know what GS means. Anyway, it's the left. It moves the cursor to the left. 32 is a space, and then 29 moves it to the left again. So that's how we erase the character visually from the screen. So this line erases the character from the variable, but we still have what was printed on the screen, so we have to do this. Move the cursor back, print a space, which overwrites that character that we're backspacing, and then move back. I don't know, there's not much to that. If we didn't move back, let's see what would happen. I'm typing away, oh, I want to make, I do backspace, but I didn't move over that last time, and so it keeps its position, and we carry on. All right. And we loop until we hit enter, and print a blank line, and then print your name. So it's not very exciting, but this was me trying to convince myself I could implement not only input, but a backspace function as well. But I'm not sure what else I can do with this. Not very exciting. Oh, and again, these semicolons here between each of these special characters, that's still the same thing. Stay on the same line, stay on the same line. So even though we're printing character 29 to the screen, QBasic is interpreting that as moving the cursor to the left, which is kind of a funky thing, but you have to treat it as if you're printing something to the screen. Yeah. Okay, well, that was it. Not sure what else I can do. Thanks for joining me in this adventure in old code. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.